Kary Oberbrunner, who is the Berry Chair and Assistant Professor of Entrepreneurship at Cedarville University. And the conversations, I think, are going to flow really nicely together. So, Kary, welcome.
Awesome. Hey, great to see you. Can you all hear me? Perfect. Okay, awesome. Well, listen, I think I'm the new guy on the block. I feel like that a lot of times in life. I don't know if you do, but I am a former pastor of 12 years and then went into the entrepreneur world. And so I've been an entrepreneur for the last 12 years. And then Cedarville and I connected, and they basically said, hey, listen, we really want practical uh, teaching. And so, would you consider being the chair of entrepreneurship? And at first, I declined because I said, I want to keep my businesses. But they said, look, let's find a way to make that happen. So the cool thing is that our students are getting real life training, and I just really appreciate all of you in higher academics. It was teachers at a Christian school that changed my life in college when I was struggling with self-injury and depression. And I feel like you are all at the forefront of changing people's lives. I feel like a lot of times we think that all of it's going to happen in the classroom, but really it's the relationship, it's the one-on-one mentoring. So, just this last week, I heard about a student who was, given up in life, and a teacher helped them. So, just want to give a big shout out to all the people that are involved in this special training today because you have a big role. One of the things that we're doing at Cedarville is we are trying to bring as much real life experience to our students. So what that means is in Cedarville, the town, very small town, they have what's called Sidewalk Saturdays. And the town actually met with me this summer, and they said, look, what if your students, entrepreneurs, created real products alongside the businesses at Cedarville? And once a month, they do this Sidewalk Saturdays. So imagine this small town. It's kind of like the only thing to do in town once a month, and all the people come out and they support businesses. Well, now it's not just theory for our students. They're actually behind tables and they're selling everything from Eve's Original Sin cookies to run gloves that are cold weather gloves. And it's just fantastic because they're getting to see what it means to make real sales, come up with real products, pricing structure, all these things. So that's a big positive. Another positive that you all might have that I thought might be helpful today is how many of you are struggling with students that have intellectual property that they're creating, but the bar of IP is so high. Can anyone give me a shout out or a hand raised or a comment? This is a big, big hurdle that's happened in the past with students where they feel like, oh my gosh, I have an idea, but I'm looking at a patent and I'm looking at 20 to $30,000. I'm looking at legal fees. I know a lot about IP because it's my newest book. But the point is this: there's an 88% rejection rate with first-time patents. The average patent takes 2.6 times to file. And you can imagine that if a young entrepreneur is looking at that, they're saying, Psh, I can't even afford college. How am I going to afford a patent? And trademarks with lawyers are about 2 to 3K, depending on how many classes you have, et cetera. So I want to share a quick thing that I'd love to give all of you as a gift today. Um, One of my businesses is publishing. So I publish books, but the other thing that I do is this blockchain-based IP protection. So I want to share this because I'd love for your students to have it. I'd love you to have it. This is not a sale. In fact, I'm going to drop in a link where you can try it for free and also get a $2,000 valued course at no charge, just because I love all that Brett's doing here. But if you look here on the chart, basically, we have way too much friction. The last gentleman who presented AI, and AI is so fast, and the USPTO cannot keep up. If you file a trademark today, you're literally in a line for 12 to 18 months. And if your entrepreneurs at your school can't feel like they can go out and make sales and progress, they're going to be delayed. So what we've done is we've developed this proprietary software where it's called Instant IP. And here's the concept. All timing, all IP is based on timing. So this is why I don't own the golden arches. Um, I am bald, but I'm not that old. But I don't own the golden arches because of timing. So how do we get entrepreneurs in our classrooms to feel like they have the confidence to go out and create and share their ideas without feeling like someone is going to steal it? 14 days ago, I had my last IP stolen. It was my TEDx talk. I was working on citing my last um, documentation for my book, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And I typed in the word abracadabra and blockchain, and sure enough, I start reading it. I'm like, what is this? And it turned out that a gentleman in Georgia, the country of Georgia, had written an article on blockchain, and he asked AI for citation to write it. And it just literally ripped off my whole TEDx talk. And this is the caution with AI, because AI is not trained in ethics. And AI may be inadvertently ripping off incredible types of IP. I know a lot of you write papers, and if you don't have the type of correct alerts to alert you that your stuff is being stolen, this you might find out by accident. Thankfully, the gentleman was very kind. I recommend if you ever think you've been had your IP stolen, screenshot it. But then you can go to my LinkedIn and see, but it was a great exchange. He actually publicly apologized. I said no problem, and we now we're buddies. But the point is this, that a lot of people, students included, may not realize this. So, a couple quick things. And how much time do I have? Just pop in the chat because I want to respect all the time. Thank you. All right. Let me know. And or 10 minutes. Okay, fine. Perfect. All right. So here's the concept, everybody. Um, why did Uber take down taxis? Because there was too much friction. There's too much friction right now in the world of IP. Everyone would agree, especially with AI. If you look at the S&P 500, I want to show you a chart really quick. The S&P 500, the most valuable assets today, what do you think? Take a vote. Tangible or intangible? What do you think? S&P 500, most valuable, tangible or intangible? I want to show you a quick chart here. Because this is what our students are doing. Our students are coming up with IP, and then what we're able to do is give them a layer of protection, and then they're actually creating businesses. So this is the S&P 500. You can find this graphic anywhere on the internet. 1975, the light blue represents intangible. So the gray represents buildings, computers, brick and mortar, cash, bonds, land. The light blue represents intangible assets. Well, along came the internet. Today, conservatively, the S&P 500, the most valuable companies on the planet, 90% of the value is in IP. So what I want you to realize is Taylor Swift is an IP company. Taylor Swift has 300 trademarks. She's re-recorded every single album. She's even trademarked her cat's names. Okay. So the point is this, that I'm serious, Swifties, um, everybody on planet Earth is an IP company, all your entrepreneurs. And once you realize this, you start realizing, oh my gosh, Krispy Kreme is an IP company. Dr. Pepper, right? CrossFit is an IP company. So what our goal at Cedarville is to actually help our students realize that everything unique that you're creating is intellectual property. And if it's not unique, you haven't differentiated yourself. So where is your unique selling proposition in the marketplace if you haven't created differentiation? And if you have created differentiation, then you have IP. And so just in my last 5 minutes, I'll share this. Because of blockchain, we have this new ability. Blockchain is a global digital distributed ledger. Okay, because I didn't know what it was for a long time. All it means is that everybody on planet Earth can see every transaction on any device, and no one can change any contents because you've literally created a new block of information. The beauty of that is that now when you come up with an idea, you can timestamp it in an immutable smart contract, and you can go back and point to it and say, that's when I actually thought of it. And so my company is Instant IP, and that we've actually created this. And so I want to give you all this for your students. Okay, it's not on the App Store. I'll tell you why it's not on the App Store. We don't want Apple taking your IP. Okay. So you all can get this again at no charge. You can try it. I'll also get you a course, but here's all my different IP. And the beauty of this, I'm going to actually demo it super quick. So if I hit protect an idea, and let's say I want to take a photo, I can go to today. We'll call this the L.I.F.E conference schedule. Schedule. We'll say Brett Smith is awesome. You always got to name and describe it, okay? And then you can hit hidden or public. If you click hidden, it remains a trade secret. I've had the top lawyers in the country, Caldwell, validate everything. So if I hit public, it's going to have a big warning that's going to pop up, and it's going to say, do you really want to post this to the world? Because if you do, you're going to disclose your trade secret. So are you sure you want to do that? So let's just keep this one hidden and say we don't want to. We hit protect IP. We've got this down instead of 30K or $3,000. We got it down to 97 bucks. You all get one free. I give our students it for 10 bucks, okay? But anyways, you click submit. Right now it's going to the blockchain. It's creating a smart contract. It takes about 60 seconds. Now, what this does is it's going to give you the ability to do what's called a superscript IP. So it's done. It's protected. Here it is. That's what we protected. Thanks, Brett. Here's the certificate. The certificate now has created a superscript IP. So any name that you create, you can now use that superscript IP just like a TM. We actually got that filed with the USPTO. It's called a certification mark. And so forever and ever and ever, you can use that superscript IP. Here it is on the blockchain, and here it is as a unique fingerprint. That unique fingerprint is like a three-factor authentication. So if anybody says, hey, we came up with that first, you basically can go and you can say, you know what? You didn't. We protected that on the blockchain. There it is. And here's what's called the hash. I won't get into all the details. I don't want to get super technical, but anyways, here's that unique fingerprint. That unique fingerprint ends in OBE. And sure enough, there we are, OBE, the unique digital fingerprint. So I share all that to say that I want I want you all to be able to take this, because if people don't feel like their ideas are protected, they're going to stop creating, and they're not going to feel confident. And I see this all the time with college students. They're scared to talk about their ideas. Or if their investors say, tell us about your IP, and they say, we got nothing, because they know that the bar is this high, then they're not feeling that excited. So I'll drop in a link so you can get this as a course. You might say, hey, Kary, what do you think about this as defendable? I've already spoken to the USPTA and Congress about this. If you want to see all that documentation, our website is instantip.today. If you just click about, you can go down. You can see me talking to Congress here. They actually submitted a report back in March with our company. They realize disruption is coming. And so it's no longer acceptable that we have such a high bar with AI and internet, but we need guardrails because otherwise AI is just going to be taking everybody's IP. So anyone can ask any questions, or I might be out of time, but I'll drop in the chat some links.
Kary, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. We
Okay,
have maybe 4 questions in the chat. And if you have chat available to you, I might let you just read it.
sure,
Um,
absolutely,
Maria starts, Bud, Kyle. There's a lot here. So
sure.
I'll let you
Yeah,
pick
and
your.
if you ever want me to present this to anyone in your schools, your people, happy to do so. I've invested personally a ton of time and money in this, but I believe in it because I just think it's why we don't have more life-changing solutions. So let's go. First question. I'm seeing a lot. Is it Maria?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
Maria is the first one that I saw.
okay? How does the CCL fit into your everything is IP perspective? Is there room for open source? Yeah, so we got a new book out. It's called You Are an IP Company. It comes out literally in 7 days. But there's Elon has created patents, and he has a patent sharing. Okay, if you're familiar with Entrepreneur Operating System, Gino Wickman, he's a friend of mine. Traction, he wrote the book. Gino and EOS, they give away all their tools for free. Okay, so they create all the tools for EOS, but here's what they say: you cannot charge money for these unless you're a franchisee. So there are many cool models, Maria, that you can give away things, but I would still really highly encourage you to protect your IP because think about property. If you do not know if you're trespassing on somebody's property in real life, it creates all kinds of bad neighbors situations. The beauty of instant IP is it's a fence. It's an electric fence. It's not the Great Wall of China. A patent is a Great Wall of China. I have 2 patents on instant IP. I'm not against traditional ways of protecting IP. I just think we need to lower the bar. All right. Next question. Rob, do you
And
believe
we'll
an
probably
IP?
have this be the last one. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Do you believe an IP
Perfect.
certificate eliminates the need for a SM or TM is a means nothing. Anybody on a computer can use a TM. It just means it could mean you're pending for a registered trademark, but everybody in the world can TM anything. And so there's no check with it. The beauty of instant IP is that everything comes with a QR code that says protected by instant IP. You scan it, it goes right to your blockchain. And so we call this IP marking. And people, your students could put this on products, slide decks. It's very cool. So thanks for my time. But we at Cedarville are really spending our time on getting students in real life and giving them the confidence with IP protection.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kary. Really appreciate it. And a necessary piece as we're all developing content together. So super helpful. Thank you.